Welcome back. Joining us on the show now is Siraj Hussain. He's Senior Visiting Fellow ICRAD and former Agri-Secretary as well. Mr. Hussain, good to have you. And let's talk about the wheat first, where we do understand that, as per the latest data that has come in from the government, that the wheat stocks last year, same time, were 37 million tons. This time is 19 million tons. We have known all the way that the procurement has been lower and the stocks have been lower. But the latest number for December has come in, and that clearly tells us that nothing really changes. How concerning is it, looking at the fact that we've seen 28% gains in wheat prices in this year, and the new crop only comes in by March, and the government doesn't hold enough stocks?
My expectation is that the government will go by the advice of Dr. Ramesh Chand, who is a member of Niti Aayog and a very reputed economist. He has said that there is no need to continue with PMGKAY beyond December, and the government should release some 4 million tons of wheat and rice under open market sale scheme so that the market prices can cool down.
You're expecting this release to the tune of 2 to 3 million tons. At least that is what the markets are talking about. And if that is the kind of release we see, how much of a correction would that really bring into the markets?
I can say that the increase in availability for flour mills and other bulk consumers of wheat can bring down the prices from about 28, 29 rupees to about 26 rupees or so. So it will have an impact of 2 to 3 rupees per kilogram, which is not a bad deal.
Okay. Mr. Hussain, also when we look at this crop itself, the sowing is up by nearly 25%, but we did see high sowing last year as well. It was weather which played a spoil spot. And this time around as well, there are conversations about how it isn't cold enough in growing areas. Are we headed the same direction this year too?
I hope not, but I can see sitting in NCR that the temperature should have been lower than this. And Mr. Ajay Jakhar tweeted the other day from Punjab that his Malta crop is blooming. Normally, it should be blooming in February, but it is already blooming. So we hope that the temperatures will fall down to about 15 degrees or so that the wheat crop can mature quite well as compared to last year. Otherwise, if we have, God forbid, a situation similar to last year's, then I'm afraid we may have to import wheat.
Oh, okay. That's been a concern for some time now. I also want to talk to you about rice, because the international rice prices have gained up by nearly 18 to 19% in this year until now. India clearly has had a lot of measures, restrictions when we look at various agriculture crops. There is already a committee, or rather, the rice industry basically asking the government to open up rice exports. You see that going through though?
No, I think the government has taken a correct decision by estimating the lower size of the rice production this year in Kharif crop. And therefore, I do not think the government is going to ease restrictions on export of non-basmati rice. In fact, the export of boiled rice is not restricted. Similarly, the export of organic rice is not restricted. And lastly, we must remember that the Indian exporters, for a variety of reasons, quote lower prices for similar quality of rice as compared to Thailand and Pakistan. So this should not be happening. And, some experts have argued that this is perhaps also contributed by very large releases of rice under PDS through PMGKAY, some of which may be leaking for export. We have no proof of that because there is no detailed evaluation study which has been conducted. But that could be one of the reasons why our rice exports fetch a lower price.
Well, of course, as you said, there's no proof of that, but there's something that we can absolutely keep an eye on. In the meanwhile, there's expectations of the government, especially acting upon on wheat in the open markets, and that is something that we'll watch out for. Mr. Hussain, as always, thank you so much for joining us. And with that, it's a wrap on Halftime Report, but Business Lunch will take all the action ahead.